secrets we're keeping could be used to light the dark. But we anti-gravity lock down humanity. Lightning insanity striking inside me. Whoa, whoa, it's the heartbeat of mystery. Whoa, whoa, lightning inside me.
If someone had asked you to describe your current state of mind, you would have said you felt like a ghost who had gotten lost while trying to cross to another side, gave up, and then decided to rent an apartment in limbo. But since that was an insult to actual ghosts, you actually knew you would instead describe yourself as a comedian who had been fired because he could no longer remember how to be funny. It wasn't even a metaphor, but was a lot more accurate.
What do you mean you're cutting my act?
You ask your manager, trying your best to sound indignant.
I mean exactly that. People come to MTT Resort to relax and have a good laugh. But your one-liners about people having allergies that are acting up because of all the dust that's in the air are inappropriate and insensitive.
But tragedy is based off comedy.
You're missing a key ingredient to the mix, which is time. It's only been 6 months, Sans. People may not talk about it anymore, but it's still too soon. Hey, don't give me that look. Think of it this way. You'll get more time to practice a new routine, and some rookie will finally get a big break with your time slot.
You've already found another comedian to replace me?
No, not another comedian. An illusionist. Relative of Majak, I think. What was their name again? Soursay. Anyway, I'm sorry I have to do this to you, but it's clear you're still not ready to return to the stage life. So until you're fully recuperated, we're gonna have to put you on mandatory leave.
You exit the hotel under a cloud of humiliation. Damn it, was it really that obvious? After coming to terms with your head, deciding feelings just weren't a thing you were allowed to have anymore, you spent days practicing in front of a mirror on how to act normal so you could blend in without being noticed. You used to be good at it. You don't understand. Everyone else around you seems to be figuring out how to be happy again. So why couldn't you?
Obviously, because you don't deserve it.
Instead of fast traveling home, you decide to take the scenic route by touring the core and circling back through Hotland. You chose to walk mostly because it would take longer that way. Being home alone with a lot of free time on your hands was not exactly where you wanted to be in this case. Any stupid ideas popped in your head. At least in public, you had to maintain an appearance. You and eyes watched you. The comedy club was just one of the few escapes you had from total isolation, but now you've lost that.
Look at you. No matter how hard you try to hide it, everyone still knows. You'd better just do something before you start becoming a burden to everyone. It's not fair to make them put up with your shit.
The heat from the core hits you like a brick wall when you enter. Low mechanical whirls and hums reverberate through the air as you mandarin through, and steam bellowing in the dim light.
The core, the fuel source of all the underground. Here, geothermal energy is converted to magic energy, which is then used to power everything beneath the mountain. It's our greatest and most important invention.
You wander through the corridors in silence, listening to the gigantic machine tirelessly work away, until you come to a bridge spanning across a chasm. Down below, a white-hot concoction of magma and magic pulsates like a heartbeat. In the distance, you can hear the hiss of ice blocks hitting the lava as it perpetually tries to keep the entire mechanism from overheating. You aimlessly begin to cross the bridge when something makes you pause and study the glowing liquid rock beneath you. The longer you idle, the more your thoughts begin to roam. Unaware, you begin to space out.
The raw, unharnessed magic that the core produces is extremely powerful and vital. It's been theorized that coming into contact with the magic of this caliber would cause the test subject's entire being to be shattered across all the controversial time and space. and as in the way of such arcane enchantment.
The magma bubbles and flows. Its shifting colors memorize you, and you inch closer to the railing, transfixed.
If you fell in, the reaction would cause you to simultaneously exist everywhere and nowhere at once. But you wouldn't technically die.
Slowly, unconsciously, you begin to lean forwards over the safety rails.
At least you'd finally be out of everyone's way.
Oh, hey, Sans, is that you?
A woman's voice snaps you out of your trance. You look over your shoulder and spot a familiar yellow dinosaur heading your way.
Fancy meeting you here, Sans. What brings you to Hotland?
Oh, hey, Alpheus. Your face twists and contorts as you try to remember what a smile is supposed to feel like. Based on Alpheus' reaction, whatever you managed to pull must have looked strained and forced. I'm just passing through.
Oh, really? Cool. I was just running errands for Asgard myself.
An awkward silence passes between you. Both of you sweat, but you don't think it's from the heat.
Hey, I never did properly repay you for that coffee.
She says suddenly. Repay? Coffee? Alpheus, that was months ago.
I know, but you really helped me that day, more than you know. And I'd like to return the favor.
Return the favor? Shit. Was your face really that easy to read?
Would you, like to come over to my lab for, some, ice and tea and cake?
The dinosaur trembled violently for such an innocent question, and your silence sure didn't help the situation.
If you say no, she's going to think she did something wrong, and then she'll blame herself. Just say yes. It'll give you an excuse not to go home yet anyway.
Sure, you say at last, and the reptile exhales in relief. That sounds nice. Please, lead the way. Listening to Alpheus talk as she guided you through Hotland was a welcome change of pace. Along the way, she told you all kinds of trivia about Hotland's puzzles, history, and architecture. You have figured she talked so much just to keep herself busy, but you couldn't complain. As long as she rambled on, you just had to listen. And as long as you just had to listen, you didn't have to think.
Well, here we are.
She announced when you approached a large white building.
My, humble abode.
She cracks an uncertain grin, but invites you inside nevertheless. The first thing you notice about Alpheus's lab is the clutter. Benches and tables line the walls, each stacked high with files and folders of what you can only assume is her research. Posters of cartoony humans with large eyes and colorful hair plasters the walls in a hodgepodge manner. Each bookcase is full of movies and comics in a language you can't read, fighting for space on the shelves. It reminds you very much of your own room, the only difference being her living space was organized chaos, whereas yours was self-perpetuating tornado of garbage.
Pardon the mess. Here's... follow me upstairs.
You take an escalator up to the loft where there are more bookshelves and workbenches, but it's noticeably less messy up here.
Make yourself comfortable. I'll get the refreshments.